And having cannons is sort of just a general good thing to do. And actually, what a lot of players will do is they'll make like a pylon here and here, and then they'll put cannons and then gateways in front of them so they can protect them like really easily against a lot of Zerg units. Because only like the Hydra can attack a gateway and not be attacked by the cannon as far as Zerg ground units go. And since nobody gets Hydras, it's a pretty good bet. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is, if you have a gateway in front of a cannon, a roach will get attacked by the cannon if it tries to attack the gateway. So quick tip for you right there. And still looking at the units, still going back to this game, I should say. I am actually I have like half the supply of my opponent, and I have so few units at my third, and I just have these useless Phoenix in the air. But I haven't remade any in a while. I am getting another air attack upgrade though. And my opponent's going to be getting a ton of banelings here, 25 to be exact. And it looks like his air army is now moving across the field. He's just now getting up his 5th base, but that's really not that bad. Especially compared to the fact that I'm only on 3 bases. And my main base is mined out. But here comes the banelings. My Archon support is a little bit too late to the party. And the supplies were drastically favoring my opponent. Banelings couldn't kill the Nexus, and I honestly feel like if he didn't send those banelings into the Nexus, he could have won the game right now. But we'll see how much damage he's able to do, despite the fact he just threw away a ton of banelings. I believe that was all 25 of them. The Archons really being the saviors of this battle, just because they counter every unit my opponent has. By the way, everybody says that since Archons are getting us biological units, everybody says that they do extra damage versus every Zerg unit. That is actually not true. Ready for this? Oh, it is I'm cutting that out. I could have sworn Queens were only psionic, but you know, I'm gonna find a Zerg unit that's not biological. You just wait, guys. You just wait. No, I think every Zerg unit is biological. I guess I was wrong. I could have sworn Queens weren't. Looks like Canyon Reed is just throwing away some lanes right now. Don't really know why I did that, to be honest. As these Archons start to rack up the kills. This Overlord, as I said, is still alive and kicking. And my opponent is just now getting his 5th base secured and saturated. And I just want to see the units tab real quick. He only has 66 drones. 66 drones. It's probably not enough. As a Zerg player, you really want to have like 80 at this point in the game. Or you want like 80 drones when you're mining off of 4 bases in general. And I'm sitting at 55 workers. And I'm really only mining off like 1.5 bases right now worth of minerals, so not the best economic situation for myself. But I'm choosing to continue to build Phoenix for some reason, but I am also getting a Mama Ship, as you may have seen in the production tab, as well as Psionic Storm upgrade. And of course, if you see the Archons and you see Mothership, you know what's coming. It's the Archon Toilet, and we will see if I can actually use that effectively in this game. My opponent is going for pretty much the ultimate death ball in StarCraft, which is Infestor Broodlord. And at this point in the game, you want to try to get your 4th base. that's a good thing to have by the 25-minute mark. But just having the Mothership and Archons is pretty much to keep you safe from a lot of stuff. So it's just a good thing to have, you know, as a Protoss player. And I just want to say, I have not built a single Colossus this game, I don't think. And actually, I don't even have a Robo. So if you were to have like any Bro Tech, that would really not be cool. And now you can see I'm way oversaturated at the 3rd because I'm just not mining like anywhere else. So I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna fix that problem, guys. In the upgrade department, at least, I believe I'm pretty far ahead. My ground upgrades are kind of good. Oh, by the way, when you are in these late game situations against Zerg, it's a good thing just to keep a few High Templars without making them into Archons. And the reason for that is because they're really good because they can feed back these Infestors. And you can see the Infestors only have 90 health. So with the neural, no, with the God, I can't think of the name of the upgrade now. What the heck? Oh my god, what's the upgrade? What's the upgrade name for the more energy? Oh my god, how do I not know this? Well, with the upgrade that gives them more energy when they spawn, I'm gonna put an annotation with the name of that. I'm pretty sure that gives them just enough energy for fungal growth, so that means that they only need to get like 25 more energy, or literally like 15 more energy, so that you can feed back and kill them instantly, because they only have 90 hit points. That took me a lot longer to say than it should have, but it's okay. And my mothership is just sitting back at home, regenerating some of that energy, and my opponent is happily sitting on 5 bases and amassing his bank account. Although he's not maxed out, I'm not really sure why. But that's cool, and I'm slowly getting to a maxed out army, but I'm just now getting my 4th base up. We'll see what I choose to do here, but one thing you can do on maps where you can blink into the main base, and on this one you cannot do that as easily, but like on basically most maps where you can easily blink into the main base of your opponent, what I like to do is, with a lot of stalkers, just blink in, kill some sort of tech, and then mass recall your units out of there if you have a lot of energy on your mothership. The one thing though, you don't really want to target the hive all too much, because they're already going to have all their tech they want down by this point in the game. So killing like the Greater Spire or Infestation Pit is a good thing to do. And if by some miracle you can kill both the hive and one of those buildings, it'll take them forever to get it back. So with that said, we're about to see an engagement going down here, and you're going to see the feedback that I was talking about. I do have Side Storm, so I'm throwing it down now, and we see a nice little lag spike. I would suggest keeping more than just 2 High Templar to feedback. I did make the other 2 that we saw earlier into an Archon, which was a mistake, but it's okay. And it is kind of worth it just to feedback 1 Infestor with a High Templar. So, I just feel like I want to let you guys know how good it is, because Infestor costs, 100 minerals and 150 gas. And the High Templar costs 50 minerals and 150 gas, so it's a pretty good trade. I just want to make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, 100, 150. So a trade 1-for-1 is actually a good thing to do as Protoss. Even though the Zerg will be able to afford it and Infestor easier, but just because they'll have more money, typically. And since he overcommitted with his Corruptors, I go ahead and try to Archon Toilet those. And if I had more High Templar, I could just be feedbacking these Infestors, but he does retreat eventually anyway. Since he retreated, I knew I could just swing around and kill these Corruptors off very easily. And he's going to have to fall back now because he lost all those units. He's going to transfuse with his Queens. There's not really a whole lot you can do to stop this since it's like so far back onto the creep. But now that I'm nearly maxed out and at least supply blocked, I will be... It looks like pushing forward. We will see what happens here. One thing I want to note, which I just got queued by the production tab, when you are sitting back on a lot of bases, you do want to add on a lot of different production. And I go ahead and vortex those Infestors for 2 reasons. A, I don't want to get neuroparasited, and B, which I don't even think he has neuroparasite, and B, I didn't really know how many units were there, so I go ahead and throw the Archons in, because I'm not going to miss my chance to do an Archon Toilet, even though there's literally only 3 Infestors, but oh well. I'm doing it anyway. And by the way, Archon Toilets actually really aren't that good against ground units. It's the air units that really stack up, like in a really confined ball. So that's why the splash damage is so good in the Archon Toilet. But I'm finally now pushing out with my amassed ball of units. Archon's leading the charge, and because you only see like a few Broodlords here, what I try to do is blink forward to just like kill as many as I can. But if there's only like a couple left, you don't need to worry about focusing them down all too much. Just let your units auto attack stuff basically, and then just micro everything else the best you can. But that's pretty much it for this game. I figured I'd show you this game because I thought it was pretty awesome. And the Phoenix actually worked versus Zerg. It is a build that I've been toying around with, by the way. Double Stargate Phoenix, but it definitely looks a lot different than this. I was just sort of like winging it this game. And it looks like I'm pushing up into his 4th base after killing his 5th. some great fungals from my opponent, but it's just not nearly enough to keep him in this game. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for this game. I hope this was a solid way to kick off the PvZ series. I know I didn't really cover a ton of useful stuff this game, but in the upcoming videos, in the upcoming PvZs, I will cover a lot of good stuff. So, stick around for that, and yeah. There's something else I wanted to say, but oh well. I'm probably going to post Cast 2 games today, so I'm not going to feature this video on the channel. So you might not even see this before the other PvZ, but whatever. This was the official kickoff to the PvZ series, so that's what I'm going to call it. And now I remember that I did fall back a little bit, so this game, awkward ending. This game's not going to be over just quite yet. I don't know, what else do I want to say? Yeah, by the way, Colossus are still a good unit to have in the late game when you're playing against Zerg, even though there's not like the Roach, there's not necessarily going to be like a lot of Roaches or Hydras on the field. They're good because the Broodlings like are actually pretty annoying to move through and also kill off. So the Colossus will like just tear through Broodlings from Broodlords, obviously, very quickly. So having a few Colossus is definitely a good choice. You don't want to overcommit. You don't want to overproduce them. You don't want to overcommit to them though. So just a final couple words there, as my opponent is getting Archon Toilet once again. Oh yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this game. So I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, good luck on ladder, guys.